Day 15. So let's talk about getting your manuscript ready to actually publish. And if it's your first book, you're going to be very excited. It's gonna feel like a miracle that you even finished it, because writing a book is no small thing. It's a huge accomplishment. And your instinct is going to want to be to immediately throw it out there into the world and get people's feedback. And that part's good, but you don't want to publish it too soon. So there are a lot of steps still after you've finished your manuscript, still a lot of steps that you have to go through. And I wish somebody had told me all of this when I first started. But first, you need to have a group of people. It can be a close group, or it can be a lot if you can manage to drum them up. They're called beta readers. And you give your manuscript to them, and you hope that they will take the time to truly go through it and give you some honest feedback about where you could improve it and what they liked, what they didn't like. People who are very circumspect and will actually take the time and not just rush through it and tell you that it's great because you're a friend of theirs, but folks that have that read a lot. Actually, those are the great people to ask, are people who read a lot, um, and get their feedback first, so that you can go back and make any changes that you feel are warranted, and beware with that too, because as a beginner, you're going to be tempted to take everybody's advice, and you could end up just changing and moving, and oh, I didn't like this, so you go back and you change it, and you're still finding your voice, and this is your story. So obviously things like grammar and pacing and things like that, take that into consideration, but also a bit too much advice can also just sort of send you spinning. So try to take a deep breath, move through that process, get a lot of different people's opinions, not just one or two. That's stage one. Then you need an editor. And thank the Lord I found my editor. It was like getting a college level writing course, one on one. If you find a good editor, they are like gold. And you can use AI to check for the mechanics in terms of grammar and typos and things like that. And it's good to do that. But there's no substitute for a good editor who is a human being who can really evaluate your story on so many levels. Someone who has read just hundreds of books and knows what makes a good story and what makes good writing. And she can help you and point out things that maybe you do, little idiosyncrasies, and things you do well, which is great for encouragement and feedback. So you need an editor. And then if you are going to write a series, and I can't imagine doing this myself, but it's great advice, so I'm going to give it to you anyway. If you're writing a series, you may want to consider waiting until you've got all of your books written before you release the series. And I say that just because as you write, your voice and your ability is going to get better and better. Your skills will get better as a writer. You will improve, and things can go in new directions. We've already talked about this with creative writing. You will be part of a dialogue with the creative forces, and they may take your story in places you didn't expect. And if you haven't already published books 1, 2, 3, you can go back, you can plant seeds, you can foreshadow, and then when you're finished, you can also um, plan out very strategically when you want to release each book. Like if you want to capitalize on the holiday season and every November 15th you have a book launch, you can just do that like clockwork and work through your entire series, which um, gives you a little more control over marketing. And then that's the other thing. Once you're actually ready to publish, this is what I wish I knew. I didn't even know what ARCs were, advanced reader copies, but there are resources for marketing that you should definitely consider before you push that publish button. And that's a lot more of information. So I'm going to save it for next time. But enjoy the day, and we'll see you again soon.